Yo, dudes and dudettes, what's up? Welcome to Ben's Blades. Oh, shit. Forgot to turn the lights on. Hang on a minute. There we go. Okay, today we're going to do some disassembly and maintenance action on this knife right here. This is the Vehement Knives Mongrel. This is made by Medford. For all intents and purposes, this is my only Medford knife, so to speak. And that's kind of by design. I hate the pivot system that's on regular Medford knives because you're not meant to take them apart and do regular maintenance. It's got this bullshit proprietary pivot that makes it almost impossible to take it apart. This, on the other hand, takes Torx. So I just got done filming the Hinderer XM18 non-flipper buoy about an hour ago. So since I've got the wind at my back, we may as well disassemble another one. This one's been in my collection for a fairly short amount of time, and it has not been disassembled since I owned it. So we are going to take it apart for the first time. We're going to look around in its guts, see what's in there. Okay, what do we need? What do we need? I don't even know what size Torx we need. Let's try a T8, just for laughs. Yeah, it looks like it very precisely fits a T8. So take the Scout bit driver, and we're going to start. How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to treat it like a Hinderer, or like a lot of frame lock knives I take apart. And I'm going to take it apart with the blade deployed. That always seems to be the best course of action. Interesting. The screw head is actually two pieces. It's a screw and a washer. Check that out, if I can get it to focus. That's kind of weird. That's interesting. Okay. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I need a fairly large hex. It's not a 1/4 inch hex. That's too big. What about in here? No. I just wonder if I can... Yeah, a T10 looks like it'll work if you're careful. I guess I gotta get another size of hex screws. Another round of hex screws in my collection, because that's exactly what I need in my life. Okay, so we're going to take a T10 and very carefully try to pull apart this knife, which I should be using hex, but we're going to try T10 Torx. I'm not stripping out the screw head, but it does look like I might need a little bit of help, so that's what the Mac Tools mini ratchet is for. So let's give this a try. Very careful. There we go. I'm gonna do that with all of these. You should definitely not do this. You should use the bit head that is meant for it. I'm just doing it because I already started filming. I'm not about to turn the camera off for a week and wait for more hex bits to come in the mail. Definitely not something I'm doing today. Okay. I was just double checking to see if I really need to take the pocket clip off to get the knife apart, and it does look like I do. It's blocking access to other screws. It has a proprietary pocket clip, which I kind of hate, because then I can't put Lynch Northwest on it. Okay, looks like we need the Mac Tools mini ratchet. Careful. There we go. This is a really interesting knife. There are things that I love about it, and there are things I hate about it. I hate the fact that it's got a proprietary pocket clip like this, where it's kind of curved, and you cannot easily replace it with anything. And then you'll notice that it has an exposed detent hole, which is interesting, to say the least. So, going back to T10. Well, now we got random parts dropping out. Here's a bit that might go... I don't know where that goes. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I got a lot of weird stuff going on right now. Let's just take this thing apart. Nope. Need the Mac Tools mini ratchet again. These are tight. Okay. And I'm willing to bet, I am just willing to bet we're going to be free spinning. Yes, we are. So I'm going to see if I can hold. I have another T10. Let me see if I can hold this in place. Yeah, we're free spinning. So hopefully I'm not free spinning on the other side. Whoa, that is a lot of Loctite. Good God, Loctite dust forever. Okay, let's get in here and... I bought this knife used, and good grief, there's a lot of Loctite dust. Holy crap. All right, let me just see if I can pull this off. Closing the blade partly usually helps. You know what? Let me go ahead and take the other pivot screw off. Looks like we need the mini ratchet again. Okay. Just need to break it loose. Copious amounts of Loctite for this thing. I just think it's fascinating that the pivot screw is 2 pieces. Okay. That is going to wiggle loose. It's an interesting knife. All right, let's close it again. See if it'll come apart any easier. Yeah, there we go. It's trying to. It's really kind of tension fit. Ooh, good grief. I almost cut myself with that one. It's really kind of tension fit into place. What do we have here? This is really interesting. I'm trying to figure out where this came from. This little itty-bitty hex thing. I'm guessing that it goes in here so that the screw has something to screw into to hold the frame in place. I'm just going to guess that that's what we are doing here. And it also looks like we actually have bearings on washers, which is very, very interesting. The pivot barrel, or not the pivot barrel, the lanyard barrel finally came out. That was kind of a tight compression fit sort of thing. All right, now There's one stuck screw. Nope, not big enough. Let me put you over here where you're safe. It's a goofy knife. Okay. Okay. Wow. Huh. Yeah, for some reason that one spot right here has... Yeah, for some reason that one spot has this really weird, tiny little hexagonal nut, basically. Okay. I am going slow because I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. I might just leave that in there. It looks like the actual pivot doesn't particularly want to come out. Okay, so let's take the Slip 2000 725. Get this rolling here. The blade stop is also part of the blade, and it's actually hidden when it's closed and when it's deployed. If you look really closely, you can see it pop out when it's being opened and closed. There is a little bit of wear on the lock face, which you would expect just because it does not have a lock bar insert. It is steel on titanium. I am 100% positive this is titanium. Yep. So that is really interesting. I don't know. I don't know if this knife is going to stick around. It might get sold just like the... I might just do a round of cleaning and maintenance videos, and then the knife just goes up for sale. We'll see. I don't know yet. This is a really interesting knife, though. Okay. And now I'm looking at the back of this, and I'm trying to decide if this looks like rust or if that's just discoloration from the machining process. I don't know. It's really, really interesting, that little bit of discoloration right there. But either way, we're going to get this thing cleaned out, put back together into regular order. Okay, let's clean this part off. There's not much to really do to it. It's mostly fine. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now, just because I feel like it's going to be a daunting process to get this thing back together. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Do I want to try to clean off these screws or not? I think it's going to be a pain in the ass enough to get those screws clean that I think I'm content to just leave it the way it is. Let me go ahead and scrub a little bit off of this washer. And that was facing towards the blade. All right, I guess let's try and get it back together. You know what I think I'll do? Let's start with this. Let's get the Go Juice. It's in this bottle right here. And we are going to lubricate the... some lubrication in there for the bearings. And just get this on. Seems like the easy place to get started. Okay, a little bit of lubrication for that. All right, this goofy little piece has to go right in here. And then while I'm at it, I think I'm going to put a screw into it. Nope, need a T10. Just so this thing doesn't want to get up and leave and disappear on me. Oh, it needs to go into a pocket clip screw. So, and I can't put the pocket clip on. You know what I think I'll do is I am going to put the pocket clip screw in just a little bit without the actual use the right screw because there's two different lengths. I'm going to put this pocket clip screw in right now, and then later I'm going to take it out to put the pocket clip on. I just don't want to lose that very small part. So you do what you got to do. Okay, let's go ahead and try to put the pivot barrel back in. Not the pivot barrel. Why do I always say that? The lanyard barrel. Good God. All right, we may as well try to put the pivot screw in for one side. I'm doing this so janky. I'm not even using a bit driver right now. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this washer in. I'm just thinking, what's the best way to go about this? Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to assemble this side next. And we're going to come at it from that angle. So I need this. I'm going to use the bit driver. Okay. I need this T10. Put it into the standoff. I didn't really clean the knife all that much. It wasn't all that dirty. I don't think it got used that much from the person who owned it before I did. I mostly just wanted to crack it open and see what's up. And it turns out it's a really weirdly built knife that is kind of throwing me off a bit. So if it did need like serious cleaning and maintenance, this is how you would do it. Okay, is there any missing parts? I don't think so. I got a screw right there and a screw right there. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Okay. So put this back on like so. Nope. I knew I was missing something. Ooh, that is a tightly fit lanyard barrel. That just fit right into place so snug it wasn't even funny. And then it makes it hard to kind of to break it apart again. Okay, so there's the washer right there. I've probably been out of focus for a lot of it, but I'm not looking at the camera right now. I'm looking at the knife so that I do this right. Okay. Really interesting knife. So now I am going to screw down this side with this screw right here. Screw that down with a T10. Tighten down these just slightly. Make sure they're snug. Put the pivot, lug, washer, whatever you want to call it, and then the pivot screw back on. Just the weirdest design, I tell you. Okay, that is snug. And now I have an interesting dilemma. I have to hold the knife like this and unscrew that pocket clip screw from the bottom of the knife to keep that lug nut thing from coming out. Otherwise, I'll never get it back in there again without taking the knife apart again, and I'm not doing that. So, let me go ahead and take this out from the bottom so that hopefully that thing will stay in there. It was really unexpected to just have parts drop out like that. Okay. The fun part is going to be getting that screw back in because it's just going to want to lift that lug nut just like right out of the way. Okay. Then the longer screw goes into the back standoff. I'm glad I didn't screw that up. Oh boy. Why do I have to do everything the hard way? Why do I have to do that? Okay. Take this and hold the knife up like so and just hope that it grabs that lug nut and screws itself in. And it did. It grabbed that lug nut and pulled it down. Fascinating stuff. You know, this knife probably wasn't supposed to be taken apart to begin with, but I did what I did, and I learned something out of it, you know. Some of these knives are just fascinating, the way they're built. Okay. That screw is snug. This screw is snug. Are we missing any parts? Let's try to close it. Careful. It's not tight enough. Need to tighten down both sides of the pivot. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is use AeroShell to lubricate the detent path, which is really easy on this knife. You don't even have to get it in between the lock bar pieces. You don't have to get it in between the frame and the lock bar like you do on like a Hinderer. You can just slap this crap on. Get it into the pivot hole or the detent hole. And just close the darn thing and close it and open it a lot. And you have effectively lubricated your detent path. Yeah, good to go. I'm going to wipe off the excess because you don't need all that much of it. We're dead center. I forgot to check before. Sometimes I just forget to do a function check before we get started. But at the moment, the blade is... I don't think it was drop shut to begin with. It's kind of a little too not broken in for that. Plus it's probably too tight. We have no blade play, up and down or side to side. And the blade is dead center. So it's a very good machined knife, very well machined knife. It's just not going to drop shut on me. Yeah, interesting. I'm just still, like, after I turn the camera off, I'm going to sit here and think about this for a second. Like, what the hell just happened? All right, let's do some LPS 2 for the blade. I've been doing this off camera to a lot of my knives lately because it's getting to be that time of the year where you kind of want to do that. At least I do. Like, is S45 VN? That's what this is, S45 VN. Is that likely to have issues rusting? It shouldn't, but I have had blades that were kept in just like humid parts of the house. And then like the standoffs would rust. The blade never did, but hey, the blade is what I care about, so we're going to do it anyway. Plus it just makes it look absolutely shiny perfect. Look at that. Okay. Put this away. It's a pretty straightforward video. I wasn't in there very long, wasn't in the knife very long. I just wanted to crack it open, clean it up just a little bit, put it back together, lubricate it, and then we're done, right? So put this stuff away. That knife was locked down tight though. Good God. Okay. Well, we're back to normal though. It's a little gritty. I think if I put some skiff bearings in it, it would loosen it up a little bit and make it smoother. The problem is I don't think skiff builds... Well, they definitely don't advertise as... They don't advertise any bearings that fit this knife. And so I'd have to measure the bearings and then compare them to those that are on a different knife and see if I can kind of narrow it down, which I'm guessing is what a lot of their customers do anyway. So, interesting knife though. This is probably going to be one that does go, just because it doesn't get a lot of carry. I kind of wanted a Medford knife. And as it turns out, I don't know that I like this one all that much more than I probably would a regular Medford. I mean, it's an interesting knife. It really is an interesting knife. I will give it that. But I guess I'll just have to make up my mind whether or not it's for me. Okay. There you have it. The Vehement Knives Mongrel and S45 VN. Questions, comments, put them in the comment section of the video. Otherwise, until next time, carry a knife everywhere you legally can. I'll catch you later.